Hello BookTube. For my first video, I have a book haul. Going forward, I plan on filming a book haul on the last Tuesday of every month, featuring the books I've picked up from from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Alibris, Book Depository, and the random pickup, if I have one. If I go to Golden's Book Exchange or Bryce's Books in Waco, there'll probably be a separate book haul because there'll be a lot more of them and there'll be a story involved, like the last time I went to Golden's. It was an adventure before I got there. And when I go to the Friends of the Library book sale in either June or in November, I will have a separate book haul for them too, because I will have a lot of books. So the first three books I have today, I picked up the last time I went to the library. The library I go to has a little book sale nook off in the lobby. On the top shelf are paperbacks and the occasional hardcover of acceptable quality, I should say. And then below them are magazines. The books and the magazines are for 25 cents with the National Geographic, and there's a lot of National Geographic, for 10 cents. I've picked up a lot of National Geographic issues that way. 10 cents well spent. So, the first three books are the complete Gormenghast Trilogy by Marvin Peake. Titus Alone, Winning Glare, Titus Alone, Gormenghast, and Titus. Oh, this is the first volume. I got these backwards. Oh well. So, the complete trilogy. These came from the Meridian Public Library. A lot of the local library systems will cull their collection and I guess donate them to the Friends of the Library book sale or the Friends of the Waco McLennan County Library to put into their book sale, one way or another. So, yeah. The next two books I have from Alibris. They're both classical history. One's a biography of Alexander the Great, and one is a history of the War of the Successors that followed his death. That we have Alexander of Macedon, 356 to 323 BC by Peter Green. I've read this book a number of times and I loved it, and I've wanted to put it in my personal collection for quite some time. So this will join the other Alexander biographies I have. And then I have Dividing the Spoils, The War for Alexander the Great's Empire by Robin Waterfield. I interlibrary loaned this book a few years ago and really enjoyed it, and I've been wanting to buy it myself and add it to my personal library for quite some time. So pleased with those two. The next four books I got from Amazon, two of which are new but not released in September, and two have been released in September. The first book is Witchmark by C.L. Polk. In an original world reminiscent of Edwardian England, in the shadow of a world war, cabals of noble families use their unique magical gifts to control the fates of nations, while one young man seeks only to live a life of his own. Magic marked Miles Singer for suffering the day he was born, doomed either to be enslaved to his family's interest or to be committed to a witch's asylum. He went to war to escape his destiny and came home a different man. But he couldn't leave his past behind. The war between Eland and Lanier leaves men changed, strangers to their friends and families. But even after faking his own death and reinventing himself as a doctor at a cash-strapped veterans hospital, Miles can't hide what he truly is. Sounds interesting. I'm hoping I can get to this before the end of the year. The second book is The Black Khan by Ozma Zahanat Khan. This is the sequel to The Bloodprint and the second volume in the Khorasan Archive, which I want to say is a tetralogy. To fight against the cruel patriarchy of the Talisman, members of the resistance group known as the Companions of Hera have risked their lives in a failed attempt to procure the Bloodprint, a dangerous text that may hold the secret to overthrowing the terrifying regime. Now, with their plans in ashes, the Companions of Hera have scattered, and the two brave women at the center of the plot, Arian and Sania, face unprecedented danger. Yet a spark of hope flickers in the darkness. The Bloodprint has survived. It is hidden in Ashfall, the seat of the Black Khan, whose court is ruled by intrigue and conspiracy. Treacherous enemies, including the autocratic Grand Vizier, the deadly and secretive assassin, the Black Khan's deposed half-brother, and the commander of Ashfall's army, who is also the Khan's oldest friend, ruthlessly maneuver for power behind the throne. The Companions of Hera must somehow reunite, break through talisman lines, and infiltrate Ashfall. A master of treachery himself, the Black Khan joins forces with these powerful women to manipulate them for his own ends. But as Ashfall comes under siege, he is forced to make a deadly calculation, one that could cause irrevocable damage to the companions in their fight for freedom. I read The Bloodprint once, like a year or two ago, and a few months ago. The first time I didn't care for it. The second time, my opinion of it drastically changed. So I picked up The Black Khan and pre-ordered, I want to say it's The Bluest Eye, and that comes out next month. And I'm planning on rereading all of them, or rereading The Bloodprint and then The Black Khan and The Bluest Eye in the new year, and plan on reviewing them. The two new books that released this month are, first earlier in the month, Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. Gorgeous cover. Yeah. Brought up by unfriendly, ossifying nuns, ancient retainers, and countless skeletons, Gideon is ready to abandon a life of servitude and an afterlife as a reanimated corpse. She packs up her sword, her shoes, and her dirty magazines and prepares to launch her daring escape. But her childhood nemesis won't set her free without a service. Harrowhark, Nonagesimus, reverend daughter of the Ninth House, and Bone Witch extraordinaire, has been summoned into action. The Emperor has invited the heirs of each of his loyal houses to a deadly trial of wits and skill. If Harrowhark succeeds, she will become an immortal, all-powerful servant of the resurrection. But no necromancer can ascend without their cavalier. Without Gideon's sword, Harrow will fail, and the Ninth House will die. Of course, some things are better left dead. Sounds interesting. Hopefully I will get to this pretty soon. But when I get to any of these books, is open for debate. Next, we have the concluding trilogy of K. Arsenault Rivera's that started with her book, The Tiger's Daughter, and continued in The Phoenix Empress, The Warrior Moon, which came out today. Once they were unstoppable, but that was years ago, and courageous young warriors have grown into worried sovereigns. The divine Empress Shizuka and her infamous Quarren consort, Varsalai Shafali, have left a trail of slain companions and sorrow in their quest to rescue their people from the insidious evil of the traitor king and his demon army. They survived exile and the horror of war before finding each other once more. But Suzuka and Shefali have yet to fulfill their terrible destiny. Now they march north, together, to defeat the evil infestation of demons once and for all, and save the world. The final battle is at hand. So I read The Tiger's Daughter twice, and the first time Tiger's Daughter fell victim to the library curse. The second time I read it, I liked it more than I did the first, and I'm hoping when I give it another reread that my estimation of it will improve. But I am looking forward to rereading The Tiger's Daughter and reading for the first time The Phoenix Empress and now The Warrior Moon in the near future. Those are all the books I have. Now I need to go put them in my catalog and put them on the shelves. It's going to be a long afternoon. Thank you, BookTube.